We're looking at snow there as well. We are ready to roll. Special time on a special day, maybe the best football day of the year. 6 teams remain in pursuit of the stuff that football dreams are made of. Rex and Alex, Teddy, Chef, a ton of insight on all the coaching and how last night actually may have reshuffled the deck on people's coaching searches. But let's dive right to that game. Commanders and Lions with a win that absolutely no one saw coming. 45-31 on they go to the NFC Championship game, and afterwards the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
3 things, man. First one's this. Ball is life, man. All right, good luck, you guys. Let's find out where it is tomorrow. Take our show back on the road. Yes, sir.
I always believe that we could achieve more than what people give us credit for, but you got to go out there, put in the work. You got to go out there, work daily, get better each and every day, and just put your head down and grind. And by the end of the time of the season, you look up, you might be in a position like this.
It's not the time to talk about what a great year or how many wins. It just, it's because at this moment, I don't think any of us feel that way. The whole point of doing what you do is to get to the show, man. That's why you play this game, and we fell short.
Okay, put your feet up. We have a lot of time to dive into this game and its ramifications. And Teddy, you said something here a couple of weeks ago that I wrote down. You said, for some reason with Jayden Daniels, the rookie rules don't apply. What do we say about him after he just pulled that off last night?
Continues to impress in the most difficult situation been faced upon. The #1 seed on the road, and he didn't blink. He didn't blink. We saw the throws. We saw his 4th down conversions with his legs. This team looks to him, and they know that they can beat anybody. This wasn't even about this game. This is about them thinking that they are the best team in the world and winning a world championship, I think. I think they totally had the expectations to go in there and win. You could tell it from their quarterback. The unbelievable offensive line play because, he had pockets that he could throw from where he was clean 3-4 seconds, and when he didn't, he could escape and use his legs. Absolutely impressive performance from.
This is what's incredible. In 2 road playoff games this year, Jayden Daniels has 1 punt, 1 sack, and 0 turnovers. That is incredible, right? Last night, the Lions pressured him and pressured him and pressured him, and he had an answer. He got the ball out quick. He drifted. He made plays. 4th down, continually finding his guys. Look at that. That is an absurd statistic. On the road, 2, NFL playoff teams, and you're a rookie quarterback. This guy obviously is anything but a rookie. He's so prepared for this stage. And he embodies what this team is about, right? Dan Quinn preaches. Anybody, anywhere, anytime, right? These guys are fearless, and they got a QB who's fearless as well.
Well, and that's it. He's a hired killer. You say what you want. Does he have a pulse rate? I don't know. But you just go in on the road and playing in that environment, dude's like, hey, let's go. Oh, it's 4th down. All right, rookie quarterback. He's throwing forward. He's doing whatever. It is unreal. And look, here's what the NFL has to look forward to the next 10 years. That dude's going to be in the playoffs for the next 10 years. He is that good. He's one of those type of guys. I said it, remember, early in the season, I said, every single team in the NFL is going to be looking for this guy. Good luck finding this guy. There's no way in hell. He is so good. It's unreal. And look, we can say what you want. But he's, taken an average offensive line at best and only gives up the 1 sack. All right, they play good against a JV pass rush. I get it. But it's not that. This kid is amazing. And then when you look at the defense, their defense, they got the 5 takeaways. That's outstanding, not taking anything away. Gave up 560 yards. It doesn't matter when you got this cat at quarterback. I love Jayden Daniels. I think he's absolutely spectacular. Do you think they're going to care if they got to go to Philly, if they go to LA?
They won't because they just went into one of the toughest places. They outdid the Lions at their own game. Right? They rushed for 182 yards. They protected their quarterback. The trick plays, they got a couple on him, but then then they play zone coverage. You want to try to get greedy on us and press. We'll just play zone. Sainristil's another great rookie that had 2 interceptions last night. They're the ones that converted on 4th downs, 3 out of 4 on 4th downs. They took the Lions and said, no, we do this better than you do. They were clearly the better team last night.
Well, they were when you got 18 players out. Let's not get it twisted. I've got to say this. No, I got to say this. Number one, like, I'm not saying taking away anything from the Commanders, all right? And it's not like they did it against Detroit only. They're the number 1 4th down team in the history of the National Football League. So you're surprised that they did it this way? No, this kid has been doing it all season. They convert at the highest rate ever in the history. So this team is outstanding. I mean, it is. It's outstanding. But we can maybe you might want to mention it. Where Dan Campbell's not going to mention it. That's what I love about him. No excuses whatsoever. But when they have 2 DBs go out of a game that's already down 4, come on.
I get that and I hear that. But listen, this Detroit offense was healthy and ready to roll, right?
Yeah.
And they still turned the ball over 5 times, right? That wasn't the defense doing it. They were the team that pressed. Multiple of these turnovers, it was a 3-point ball game, right? And they were the team.
In the postseason when you turned it over 5 times against this
Yes.
rookie quarterback who has been great on 4th down, who has 6 drives in the final 10 seconds of a game, who now we can begin talking about. We see the 4 great quarterbacks in the AFC, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Well, there's one in the NFC that now rules that conference, that changes the way that we're going to view this franchise and view that conference. He's elevated an otherwise average roster, made him a viable Super Bowl contender. And I think somehow the football gods may have had something to do with this. This is the first full season that Daniel Snyder is not involved in Washington. And now they're looking down in Washington and saying, enjoy this trip to the NFC Championship game that your fans will love.
Can't say how surprised still I am at what Detroit put out there. I mean, this is the team that was number 1 in point differential, okay, and number 1 in the time of possession with a lead. All of a sudden now, did you expect this game to be a bludgeoning? Did you expect this game that it was going to be a blowout?
They did.
All of a sudden, you're in a game now, and Jared Goff is the one that's playing tight. I mean, there are no defensive players that got hurt that were on that offensive side. The quarterback was tight. I think the play calling was a little tight. Goff throwing into team meetings. I don't know who the rookie was.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
And look, even on that particular play, you got a guy that's open by 10 yards at least. And he decides to throw it deeper. We've seen him do it and make those things. I'm not saying he didn't play tight. They did have 530 yards.
5 turnovers though, Rex.
But I know I get it. I'm absolutely get it. But to sit back and say, guys, this is all about the quarterback. It is. It's all about this quarterback. He has elevated the play of that entire football team. And that's how special this kid is. To sit back and say, well, the Lions, you expect more and all this stuff. Look, this team won 15 games, riding a defense, by the way, that was dead last in the league since week 14. Week 14, they've been dead last in almost every category. Total QBR, per play, all these type of things, all right? And they were number 2 in the league in all those categories up until those injuries. So did it have a little thing? Of course, but I'm saying I don't want to take away what the Commanders are doing. But let's not just say, well, the Lions were terrible in this game. No, they played an awful game, obviously turning the football over. But to sit back and just ignore the fact that they had all these injuries, I think is over. They'll be back there next year. We'll see.
No one's going to feel sorry for them.
I don't
feel sorry for them. Nobody on this desk feels sorry for them. And now they're going to go forward. And I'm just saying, these Lions. When those close quick, and you're going to lose your offense.
I'm proud of the damn Lions. I don't care. I get it. They lost the game. I wore my Lions stuff here because I'm proud of that football team. If you are a Detroit Lion fan, you should be proud of your football team.
No
doubt.
Absolutely.
Yes, it was a bad day. But guess what? the best teams don't always win.
Well,
the best teams don't always win.
You can be proud. You can be proud, but you're disappointed this morning.
Absolutely.
We understand your pride, and rightfully so. But listen, last note on this. The Commanders coaches, I talked to them this morning, all week they were preaching to Jayden about not taking a negative play. No sacks, that the Lions were going to come after him, and he was ready. He was the guy that didn't make the critical errors, right? Not a single sack. He dissected the pressure yesterday. And on the flip side of this Lions offense has no excuses. Right? Full power. They were a juggernaut, and that they were the ones, right? They pressed. They made these errors that lost this ball game.
They went in the game knowing they had to score 40 points. All right? Now, they didn't. They scored 31, turned the ball over 5 times. Absolutely not to their standards. All right? Not to their standards. Now, most teams would have loved to score 31 points and have 530 yards of offense, but to sit back and say, I guess when you have one of the best offenses in the history of the NFL, you expect more.
Yes. And as far as Jayden Daniels is concerned, and that really should be the storyline here, we can forget about the conversation about greatest rookie seasons for a quarterback ever. If you appreciate the history of the sport, the greatest rookie seasons the league has ever seen are people like Jim Brown, Gale Sayers, Mike Ditka. I think Jayden Daniels goes to number 1. I think with this win, Jayden Daniels is the greatest rookie the NFL has ever had, and he's 1 win away now from the Super Bowl. So that's where we stand from last night. Shefty, set the table for today.
All right, Green, in the second game today, the nightcap that everybody's waiting for, it doesn't look like the Baltimore Ravens are going to have Zay Flowers available. He went down in the final regular season game with that knee injury, listed as doubtful for today's game. We don't see players listed as doubtful typically play in the game, and that means they're going to have to rely on other outlets like Justice Hill, Isaiah Likely, Rashad Bateman, and they're going to have to rely, of course, on the running game in the cold weather in Buffalo. And as for the Buffalo Bills, this is not the same Buffalo Bills team that got boat raced against the Baltimore Ravens earlier in the year. Matt Milano is back. Terrell Bernard is back. Taron Johnson's back. And they traded for Amari Cooper. Those are 4 key additions for the Buffalo Bills that they didn't have the last time they played Baltimore earlier in the year. And how about